Hello children. So today in this module we are going to read the chapter Discovering Tut. The saga continues. The chapter is written by A.R. Williams. About the chapter. The chapter Discovering Tut describes the wondrous discoveries made in unfurling the mysteries of the great pharaoh King Tut of Egypt, who was the last heir of a powerful dynasty that ruled over Egypt for centuries. King Tut was a boyish pharaoh whose rise to glory was as fast as his untimely death, and there are many conjectures regarding his death, along with the myth of his curse, that whoever that shall disturb him will face his wrath. The text here describes the progress in the field of archaeology from Carter's excavation to the recent forensic reconstruction of the mummy. Now, this is the tomb of King Tut. Chapter Analysis. Tutankhamun, widely known as King Tut, the last heir of the 18th dynasty that had ruled over Egypt for centuries, died in a mysterious manner. His untimely death was the last blow to the empire, which was already crumbling. King Tut's tomb was forgotten for thousands of years, until discovered by a British archaeologist, Howard Carter, in 1922. Due to the sudden death of the pharaoh King Tut, the world kept speculating about the reasons, with murder being the extreme possibility. Archaeology has transformed substantially due to advancement in technology, thus facilitating a CT scan of the mummies discovered. Due to historical significance of King Tut, who died almost 3300 years ago and was discovered approximately 80 years ago, his mummy was the first one to be scanned for forensic reconstruction, unraveling his death mystery. The narrator further gives a dramatic depiction of the natural forces, the angry wind stirring up dust storms, the sky turning grey, everything giving an airy feeling. The narrator further gives us the description of Tut's coffin and gilded mask, which is the most striking feature of his tomb, that was adorned by vast murals on its walls. The mummy of King Tut was adorned with precious gems, jewels, and became a sensation amongst people for the magnificent riches found within it. The tourists generally remain in awe at the craftsmanship of the ancient workers, but the untimely death of the pharaoh and his curse, death or misfortune falling upon those who disturbed him, always lingered in the back of their minds. We later get to know that the chapter not only shifts us to past, but it's also in form of an interview. Al Zahi Hawass, the Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, tells the readers looking at the mummy that how badly the mummy of King Tut was damaged by Howard Carter. Howard Carter, after discovering the mummy, wanted to investigate it and also to separate the mummy from the gilded coffin, as he was afraid that the thieves might come after it for the riches. But Carter failed to do so, as the ritual resin that was applied on the corpse to protect it from decomposing had hardened and cemented the mummy to the coffin, which was hard to budge or melt, even keeping it out under scorching heat of sun for hours. Eventually, Carter chiseled the body out of the golden coffin, and in the process, he also severed almost all the major joints of the mummy, thus damaging it irrevocably. We also get to know That along with the riches, King Tut was also buried with items of daily utility like bronze razor, board games, linen undergarments, cases of food and wine, which was found in his tomb, signifying the ancient Egyptians' belief in afterlife. The remains of garland of willow and olive leaves along with wild celery, lotus petals and cornflowers indicated that the burial took place in March or April. These are the three coffins which were found inside the tomb of King Tut. Now, the body of King Tut, which was buried with riches, is reassembled and rests in a wooden box on sand layers with padding to conceal the damage which was made by Howard Carter. The narrator further informs that in 1968, after more than 40 years from the discovery of King Tut's tomb by Carter, it was x-rayed and found by an anatomy professor that beneath the hard resin that covers his chest, King Tut's body has a missing breastbone and front ribs. But now, with the help of advanced technology of computed tomography or CT scan, a three-dimensional estimate of King Tut's body can be made by compiling hundreds of cross-sectional X-rays, solving the two major questions looming about King Tut's discovery. First, how did he die? And the second, how old was he when he died? King Tut's mysterious death, even by royal standards, was a magnanimous event as it was the last nail in the coffin of the declining dynasty that he was part of. His ancestors were the rulers of the 18th dynasty, ruling Egypt. Tut's grandfather or father, Amenhotep III, was a powerful pharaoh who rules for over 4 decades, under whose reign the 18th dynasty's golden age reached its peak fame. Amenhotep IV, the immediate successor, however, initiated the strangest periods in the history of ancient Egypt by promoting the worship of Aten, the sun disk, changing his name to Akhenaten, moving his capital from the religious city of Thebes to the new city now called Amarna, destroying places of worship of Amun, a major god. After the demise of Amenhotep IV, Smenkhare reigned over Egypt, whose existence is considered insignificant. Eventually, the very young Tutankhaten, King Tut, took the throne and brought about major changes in the empire. He changed his name to Tutankhamun, living image of Amun, started restoration of old ways, but his reign ended only after 9 years. King Tut is only one of the hundreds of mummies found in the land of Egypt that amount to nearly 600. The next step is to scan all the mummies with the help of a portable CT machine donated by National Geographic and Siemens, its manufacturer. King Tut is the first of the lot advancing before his countrymen even in his death as he had done during his life. The machine scanned the minute details of King Tut's body, revealing secrets which had been guarded by the winged goddesses of gilded burial shrine. At night of scan, King Tut's body was carried out on a stretcher to the portable CT machine kept in a trailer. The machine did not work, for there was sand in the cooler fan. The guards had nervously joked that this happened due to the pharaoh's curse. Later, with the help of substitute fans, the procedure was completed successfully, and in less than 3 hours, Tut's body was returned to his tomb where his priests had laid him more than 3,300 years ago. As the image appeared successfully on the computer screen, with transitioning the ancient corpse into an image as lively as any normal body. Seeing the Zahi Hawass let out a sigh of relief, for he had not been able to sleep till then, tensed about the curse of the pharaoh. The text ends with the windy storm settling down as Orion, the constellation which represents the god of an afterlife, Osiris, towering over the pharaoh's tomb, guarding him.